Reaching a big milestone in another big year. Time just keeps on marching on, that is crystal clear. 23 full years of questing, no banks or deaths, I've got my tricks. RuneScape 3 Hardcore Ultimate Ironman, questing through 2006. Welcome back to January 23rd, 2006. Prayer. That's what we're training. And there is 61. Well, that is Sap Necromancy Strength. Much later. Still getting all these ecto tokens, then technically dropping them. Now we're going to technically drop all the buckets and pots we should have had. We've gotten 1,600 ecto tokens that we've dropped on the floor, technically. Can't get them out of the currency pouch here. Just never going to use these. Not that there's much use for ecto tokens, except for a few things, but that's not the main situation here. Keep on fighting more dragons, getting more XP and things. Bringing the bones here, having a great time. Anyways, we've got quite a few things to look at here today. And then technically, we're going to be coming right back here. It's going to be something. But anyways, on January 30th, 2006, new look for the high scores page, and with the added functionality of being able to compare to accounts. Compare you with your friends, see who's got the better overall, or which stats you were better in than them, or just compare to any random person you find. Very, very competitive. Or just friendly. There's options. Also on the website, you can now find Postbag from the Hedge number 3, featuring the likes of Barbarians, Delrith, and the Calphite Queen. Send in your questions. Get some interesting answers. And now, the actual content for today. Multiple things in multiple places. Down in the Berthorpe Games rooms, we've got new games. Rune Squares, where you each take turns, put it in a line, trying to make a bunch of squares. Be tactical, and have chains of squares that you can keep putting in another line after you complete one of your squares. Get the most squares to win. And Rune Versi, where you put the runes and then they flip some of your opponent's runes in some fashion. It's reversey. All of the games here have rune in the name, at least for the most part. It's a whole thing. They are just normal rules for the games. It's fine. Not too much activity these days in the games rooms. There are other options for playing little games like that. But still, definitely something. Get your whole ranking in all the different games. To go into the other rooms that have higher requirements to have better matchmaking, and yeah. It's a whole thing. In the more combative side of things, Harpy bug swarms have invaded Karamja. New Slayer monster, requiring 33 Slayer. To fight them, you need a lit Harpy bug lantern, which is 33 fire making, making it so you can only use one-handed weapons, since you need to hold it in your shield slot, essentially. Now they also have, you'll see they're now range enemies, so that's also great. Highly aggressive, pretty strong, not a very impressive drop table, pretty much the same as Pyre Fiends. Not a task you really want to get. We'll worry about exactly which Slayer tasks we're getting and what Slayer Master we're going to be worrying about pretty soon here, actually. All things considered. But for right now, we are not going to be fighting them, since we would need to go and get some kind of one-handed weapon. Might need to do that when we are actually training Slayer, but not a huge situation. And if you want to have some new kinds of food for healing up while fighting the very, very bitey bugs here, there are now a whole bunch of new potato recipes. We got chili con carne potatoes, egg and tomato potatoes, mushroom and onion potatoes, and the best of them all, tuna and sweet corn potatoes. Technically better by at least a few points than sharks. So, good amount of healing. Reasonable to get all the ingredients, since you just need like potato, butter, cheese maybe, tuna, sweet corn. But a lot of steps to put it all together. But for how much it heals, and the slightly lower requirements for making it, reasonable. Just about the closest you ever get to a non-fish food being somewhat viable, which continues to be hilarious. But beware, taking all your new potatoes to Mauritania, because ghasts can now rot your potatoes. And also gout tubers. Definitely don't bring any gout tubers there. That'd be devastating. It's only a random chance which piece of food the gas will take. We definitely don't want to chance it. And other random things happening. The Mystery Box random event was changed to be more friendly to colorblind players. Instead of colors and shapes, you have to pick the correct one. It's now numbers and shapes. So, no color situations. If you were colorblind and you couldn't guess the correct color, you would just fill your inventory with incompletable boxes. Not exactly ideal. Not exactly ideal. And now we can keep trying to run away from these harpy bug swarms. We could stand somewhere else. That'd also work. But then we wouldn't be right near the harpy bug swarms. Where's the fun in that? It's got a safe spot behind some trees here. Used to be melee, wasn't a problem. Anyways, February 2nd, 2006. Pay by phone is now available in Canada via Surfpin. So, call them up, get your membership from the phone. Brilliant stuff. February 6th, 2006. Had a new largest amount of concurrent players over the weekend at 185,000. And to help with all the people, 4 new servers. 3 in Toronto, 1 in the UK. A little bit more space for everybody. And also, the behind the scenes post. Pirates, Wilderness Boss, Treasure Trails, Pies, Farmers, more things happening. It's gonna be great. And we get to wait 1 day before the actual first thing on the list comes out. Because on February 7th, 2006, we get the next quest. Which really would be better to try to look at when not getting attacked by harpy bug swarms. So, we're gonna run to the jungle a little bit here. We got a few jungle spiders in here. They might also be aggressive. Go over towards the river, I guess. Karamja. It's a whole place. Anyways, checking in the quest list here. Next up, Cabin Fever. More pirates. Requires Pirate's Treasure, Rum Deal, and Priest in Peril. But entering Mauritania was already required for Rum Deal, so realistically this doesn't need to be on this list. There's been some quest requirement cleanups recently. Could probably strike this from the requirements. That's okay. Skill requirements though. 42 agility, 45 crafting, 50 smithing, and 40 ranged. Not too bad. Required items? Nothing. Combat? Also none. But might want to fight some pirates. So, bring a few food just in case. Also, very real chances of explosions. So, we will go get some food. Recharge our prayer, because why not? We'll be in the area. Just gonna go back through Ardoin, fish some sharks, and get over to the quest start. Like I said, returning to where we were. Port Phasmatis is where the quest begins here. Talking to Bill Teach in the pub in here. Hello! What right have ye to be so happy, landlubber? Well, it is quite a nice day. Aye, that it is. Will ye forgive an old sailor his temper, lad? I'm in dire straits indeed. What's the problem? I may be able to help. I don't know, lad. I need a pirate to help me with my problem, but none will sail with me. Well, you look like ye might have the right stuff. Tell me, would you like to be a pirate? Yes, I've always wanted to be a pirate. A life on the open waves, swinging on the rigging, walking the plank. I'd love to be a pirate. Well, I don't know. Takes more grit than most have to be a pirate. Tell me, be ye as agile as a cat on a hot tin roof? Well, I am quite agile. Be a smith and craftsman of great renown. That I be. Be the kind of keen-eyed archer that can hit an albatross at 100 paces. Aye, you point me to the albatross, and I'll bring it down, Captain. Have you rendered great services to pirates in the past? I be the least landlubber they ever did see. I'll send those scurvy-riddled bilge dogs to the bottom of the sea. Fire another broadside, Mr. Bosun. Flog 'em for being lazy sons of whelks. Arr! Well, lad, I don't think you could pirate your way out of a chest full of piracy. Aw. But since no one else will take the trip, you'll do. Well, lad, I be Bill Teach, the captain of the Adventurous, one of the finest ships ever to sail these waters. I'm in port doing some legitimate trading before heading back to Mos the Harmless. Mos the Harmless? Where's that? It's a pirate stronghold off the southern coast of Mauritania. Been in existence for years, it has. The best place for pirates to relax, with the exception of Brimhaven. Would be the best, but we don't have their fancy agility arena. Will it be okay for me to go there if I'm not a pirate? Of course, lad. Once you make landfall, you'll have worked as a sailor on a pirate vessel, which is one of the easiest ways to become a true pirate. This brings me back to the reason I'm stuck here, of course, and the reason I need your help. Last night, I got into a war of words with another captain, and he has vowed to sink my ship and put all my crew to the sword. How horrible. How did your crew react? By deserting. All of them? Every last one. The second I leave port, I'll come under attack. I think I'll be able to make it if I have another person helping out, but I wouldn't stand a chance by myself. You said you would help me out, lad. Will you stand by your word? Accept. Cabin fever. Yes, I am a man of my word. Arr! You struck me as a man of integrity. My ship is the Adventurous, and she is at the East Docks. I'm all ready to get underway, and I'll see you on board when you're ready to go too. You won't, you'll not regret it, Captain. I'm sure I won't. Arr. We're gonna be a pirate. Fun stuff. Fun stuff. A pirate that's immediately going to be fired upon as soon as we leave port. So, you can see why everybody else didn't want to come with. He's got a nice big boat here, though. Bill Teach, how's it going? You came! You seem rather surprised. Well, I had the feeling you might have run off when you realized how much of a task you had ahead of ye. Don't ye worry about me, Captain. I'm the scurviest, throat-cuttingest pirate to ever walk the main plank. Arr. I should have remembered ye was eager. Y'all ready to go, lad? Let's go, Captain. And away we go. We're sailing. Sailing. Down under decks here. Well, it looks like they found us, Captain. You don't say, lad. Well, without anyone else to help, you'll have to do some of the hard work if we don't want to end up walking home on the seabed. What will you be doing? Well, if their first shot hadn't taken out the cannon, I'd be firing that at them. Oh, wait, took another hit here. Arr, they seek to hold the ship. Go and take care of their cannon. How? If you grab some fuse from the gun locker and a rope from the repair locker, then you can use the rope on the sails to swing over and deal with their cannon. Just take the fuse, use it on the barrel of gunpowder next to the cannon, and then light it with something. A lantern, a tinderbox, it doesn't matter. End of problem. And, beginning of another problem, there's now a third hole. How do I get back? They have masts as well, don't they? Just do the same trick, using some rope on their sails and swing over. Arr, I'll hop to it, Captain. Stop doing that. You ain't a pirate yet by a long shot. I'll be dead. I'll be on deck if you need me. And also dead. It's a whole situation out here. So we gotta go and stop them from sinking the boat. Now take care of that cannon. Alright. We're gonna worry about the holes later. You search for all the pieces we need. Take a rope. Second rope. Gun locker. A fuse. I'll take a tinderbox for good measure. Here's the plunder storage. Very plunderful. Always gotta get some plunder when you're out pirating. Okay. Climb up the climbing nest. Now we're up here. We need the rope. Put the rope on the sail. Go up, I think. Use the rope on the sail. That gives us a high enough vantage point. We can walk around and swing on over in our full plate armor. Very prepared. Now the pirates are attacking. They are not very strong, so we just slice them in half, basically. Use the fuse on the powder bale. Lay out the fuse while being attacked by all the pirates. And light the fuse with our tinderbox. Again, while fighting all the pirates. Explodes the powder and explodes the cannon. Lovely stuff. And now, we need to get out of here. So we tie another rope, go back around, and swing across. See if we ever fail these. The rope falls off the mast. Clearly your knots are sub-sailor standard. Really. Well, we got across at least. That's an agility check. Arr! I've blown their cannon into smithereens, Captain. You're not a pirate yet, lad. Stop talking like that. Well, you've sorted out their cannon. We're taking on water. Go below deck and sort out the leaks. Will smearing swamp paste on the holes do? No, lad. These holes were made by cannon fire. You'll need to get some planks from the repair locker and tack them into place. Then you smear swamp paste over the planks to seal the hole. Arr! I'll have the ship shape in no time, arr! Wait till we make landfall before you start acting like a pirate. Ship shape. Here we go. So, we're making some repairs. We got 3 holes here. We'll take some hammers. Technically we have no tool belt, we just picked one up, it's fine. Get some tacks. A couple planks, some swamp paste. All in various numbers. Hammer this in with the hammer that we totally have. Almost fills the hole by just putting some planks on top of it. Also need to do the whole waterproofing. This will at least hold until they can get to a proper repair facility. And one more. Put on the planks. We definitely do a job here. Nailing the planks to the other planks. Works well enough, at least. I'll take it. I will take it. And back up. The holes be plugged, Captain. Nailed shut and waterproofed? Aye. Good work, lad. If you weren't set on yelling R all the time, I think you were a born sailor. Regardless, those cowardly dogs seem a little too scared to swing over. Why not pay them a visit and go plunder their hold? I'll plunder their booty and no mistake. Gadzooks. Look, just go below their decks and search their hold for plunder. Come back here and drop it in the chest in the hold. You should be able to round up 5 loads of the stuff. Aye, aye, Captain. One plundering coming right up. I've been a pirate all my life, and I've never heard anyone keep harping on like that. Stop it. You guys don't appreciate what I'm doing here. We need more ropes to get across again. Rope. Another rope. Here's where we need to get the plunder to here. We see across to their ship? Nope. Well, we will. Once we actually get over there. I don't know if we're going to fail the crossings here with 77 agility. That's definitely much higher than the required 42. That's for sure. Oh, we fell in. We swim through the water a bit, then climb up the side of the ship, which is pretty impressive. Does unequip your weapon. Probably would be some weird situation if you didn't have space for it in your inventory. Could be problematic. We totally do. Plunder the chest. We got 5 pieces of plunder. Originally, this was a little bit more awkward. You needed 10 pieces of plunder. The chest would have 3. There's like a crate with 2, a barrel with 1. They would slowly restock with plunder. So you just had to wait around for the plunder to come back. Which really doesn't make too much sense. How more plunder gets into the boxes while you're standing next to it and nobody's showing up. So they switched it to just grab the plunder, bring it back. Same action. Just a little more streamlined. Simple. Our Art of Brutality is just obliterating these guys. It's pretty hilarious. Also, when we fell in the water, it was very energy intensive, but doesn't really matter because of the red energy changes. And we're back. So, how many loads of plunder? It was 5. Used to be 10. That's okay. Put it in the plunder hold. Store the plunder. Look at this plunder. Looks valuable. High alks for 1 coin. Not that valuable, apparently. Anyways. Nope. I warn you, lad. If the first word out of your mouth is R, I'll be wearing your spleen as a novelty hat before you reach the second R. Ahoy, shipmate. Should have seen that coming. Captain, I've put 5 loads of plunder in the chest in the hold. Are we all done now? Not yet. Let's give him a blast with the cannon before we leave. How? The cannon is broken. Alright, lad. Try to stay with me with this one. See, there is a secret technique for making things that be broken right again. We call this magic process repairing. I know what repairing is. How do I repair the cannon? You need to remove the old barrel, then replace it with a new one from the gun locker downstairs. And then what? I don't want to overload you with too many details right now. Come tell me when the cannon is ready again. Okay. Just need a new cannon barrel. That's a very important part of the cannon. Cannon barrel. Look at it. All not exploded. You'll have to see it. Fix it on up. Take the old part out. And add the new one. Ta-da! Overall, everything seems fine. Captain, have you fixed the cannon yet? Yes or no? Yes. You did? Great. Now you can give those pirates a good shot across their bows. You need to load the cannon. If you get raw, the cannon will blow, and you'll need to start again. First, you take some powder from the powder keg. Then use a ramrod from the gun locker on the powder to tamp the charge. Use a canister round on the cannon. Finally, use some fuse on the cannon. Light it like you did the fuse on the barrel earlier. Then, you'll need to use the ramrod on the cannon to clean it out for the next shot. You got all that? Yes, but if I forget, I'll come and ask you. And to think this was all I could get to help. We accomplish things. Eventually. We have all these different pieces here. We get some more fuse, a ramrod, a canister. We can pick up the gunpowder from the gunpowder near the cannon. Powder barrel. There we go. So first, clean the cannon. Even though we just brought the barrel up here, always safe to go through the whole procedure here. It's just a smart plan. Put some gunpowder in it. Use the canister. Tap it down. Add the fuse. And fire! Ow. Wrong. Tap the powder, possibly. Pick all the things again. We need a new cannon barrel, new fuse, and a canister. This is why it's difficult. Because it can explode. Luckily, we have an infinite supply of cannon barrels. That's pretty great. Clean it. Gunpowder. Tap it down. Canister. Use a fuse. Fire. Fire some attacks. Killed that guy. A perfect hit. If I do say so myself. Well, that seems to show them, Captain. Great. This ordeal will soon be over. Aye, Captain. We'll beat these pirates yet. Pirates? Yes, that ordeal too. Now, lad, we'll send them to the bottom of the sea. How? Well, you'll shoot holes in their hull with a cannon. Essentially, you do what you just did, but use a cannonball from the gun locker in the hold instead of the canister rounds. R, I'll sink them scurvy dogs. Again with the R. Give it 3 tries and see if they sink. That my hole should do it. Whee! So, we're gonna need many bits of fuse. We're gonna need many cannonballs. As long as we don't blow anything up, we're not gonna need any more cannon barrels. Take all these pieces and some gunpowder. And remember to not climb up into the sails for no reason. And remember to clean out the cannon first here. Cleaned up. And the powder. Down. Cannonball. Loaded. Fuse in. And fire. Put a hole in their hole. Beautiful. Now we just need to do this 2 more times. And this. Clean it out first. Add the powder. Dip it down. Cannonball. Here's the fuse. All this stuff is very heavy. Like these whole cannon barrels we're holding. Like wildly, wildly heavy stuff. Fire! Another hole. Beautiful. Clean out 1 more time. And that. Tap it down so we don't blow up the cannon. Put in the cannonball. Add the fuse. And fire! Let's head to the island. Sunk them. Beautiful stuff. We're a pirate yet. Bill, you look like you've been to Davy Jones' locker and back. Oh, Miss Lafayette, if only I were that lucky. My crew deserted, and I was stuck with an adventurer manning me ship. He was as piratical as a bunch of dwellberries. I am still here, you know. Aye, lad, I remember. Hey, I'll leave you two alone. Alright. Okay, Hardcore Ultimate Ironman, Artic. You're now a pirate, but... But you can't just go around talking like some pirate in a fancy play. No self-respecting pirate says "R" that much. Well, except for Fancy Dan. That'd be another story. Here, have this book. It'll learn ye how to be a pirate. Or at least learn ye to talk proper like one. So all I have to do is read this book, and I'm a pirate. Aye, that be all you need to do. You'll need the book if you want to trade with some of the pirates around here. Outsiders tend not to understand them, if you catch me drift. Anyway, I'd have been shark bait without ye. If you get a moment, come see me for your share of the loot. I'm sure as soon as you stop yelling R, you'll make a great pirate. Thanks, Hardcore Ultimate Ironman Artic. If you need a lift back, just come see me. There we go. Quest complete. 2 quest points. 7,000 smithing, 7,000 crafting, 7,000 agility XP. The Little Book of Piracy, which we need to talk to any pirates. 10,000 coins when we go and talk to Bill Teach. Access to Muscle Harmless. And then later, Cave Horrors and Charter Ship prices. Those don't exist yet. Wildly, the sum total of Muscle Harmless is just town right here. Nothing else exists yet. I think we're getting levels from these lamps here. A little bit of XP. No, not really. Always good to get some free XP though. So let's look around town here, shall we? Looks like a solid plan. Talk to Mama. Hello, stranger. You come for a drink? What sorts of drinks do you have? We got some cold beers, some warm stews, and some rum. Not Captain Braindeath's rum. Yes, there was some sort of problem at the brewery, but they got it all sorted out now. You want to buy something? We definitely do not want Braindeath rum. It is devastating. I think it's eating through the bottle. Look at some stew, wine, beer. This is the other inn. Because there is, in fact, 2 inns here. See what's going on at... Well, not the other inn. That's the other inn. What's this one called, then? Dr. Joe. What do you want? What do you got? We got grog and we got food. Here, take a look. It's the same thing. Harpoon Joe's House of Rum. Brain Death Rum. Yep. We helped by getting the rum back and being available. We are very helpful like that. What do you want? Nothing. Honest. It's not taking up your floor space. And he's got a harpoon for a hand. Want to know where you got that harpoon hand? You're new in town, ain't you? Newish, certainly. But if he wants to hear the story, here goes. See, I was walking along the docks one day, and this fierce storm blew up. All of a sudden, I turned, and there, bearing down on me, is this albatross. Sorry to interrupt, but I would just like to clear something up. What? I was just getting to the good bit. When I say wanted to know where you got that harpoon hand, I meant where did you get it made or buy it from? If you don't want to hear the story, then I ain't gonna tell you. Fair. Harpoon hand. Yep. That's a harpoon hand. Wild. They've also got a bank, which is very helpful for not us. Next shop, we've got Mike's Clothes Shop. Want to buy some clothes? Good quality, none of your rags. Why does that shirt have a hole in it? It's to put your head through. In the stomach? Isn't that an odd place for a neck hole? Oh, it seems as if I must have slipped when cleaning it and put a bit of a hole in the front. Silly me. What are you cleaning it with? A blood-covered scimitar? If I say yes, will you buy it? No. Then no, I was not cleaning it with a blood-covered scimitar. Where do you get these clothes? Found them. You found a bunch of slashed-up clothing, some of which has been shoddily cleaned and stitched together? Yes. Look, do you want in on this or not? I'll take a look. He's got all kinds of piratey goodness. Pirate shirts. And boots, eye patch. All these colors? A lot of different shirts in here. Got bandanas. Fantastic stuff. For all your pirating needs. And we are a pirate now, so we could get some pirate stuff. Don't need to, though. Where did that pillar come from? Not sure which pillar we're referring to. You want to buy it? Is this pillar outside? This one right here. An ancient pillar. Is it for sale? Would you buy it if it was? If it was, could you sell it to me? If I couldn't, would you still give me the money? No. Where did the pillar come from? Dunno. There be loads of islands out this way, and a lot of them have little bits and pieces of this scattered around. The way I see it, there must have been some people out here at one point, and then they went away. Where? Search me. I'd rather not. Mysteries. Ooh. Next up, we've got, since we're on an island, no huge surprise, a fishing shop. Charlie, I got fish. You got gold? Yes. He's got some fish. Quantities and stocks, slightly different. But ultimately, not too crazy in terms of fish here. Fish shop. There you go. And he's got 2 peg legs. I don't want your fish. Then what are you doing in a fish shop? Looking for work? Possibly. Do you have any quests? I don't know. Haven't gone through the last catch yet. What sort of a fish is it? A quest isn't a type of fish. Then I don't have any, and you're wasting my time. Fish. What happened to your legs? You want to know what happened to me legs? You're too much of a lily-livered, hat-wearing landlubber to know what happened to my legs. No, I'm not. I've seen some freaky stuff. I can take it. Alright, lad, since you're so insistent, I'll tell you. See, I was clinging onto a barrel, my ship having just had an encounter with this albatross. The sea was thrashing and wild, not so wild that I didn't see the fins of some sharks closing in on me. Managed to yank a sliver of wood from the barrel just as one of them grabbed me from below. I slipped down the thing's throat about 2 feet before I managed to kill it. How did you survive? Passing ship saw the sharks and knew there would be survivors in the water. They sent a longboat and picked me up, but not before the shark had taken off me legs. And that, lad, is why they call me 2 Feet Charlie, because they found me jammed 2 feet down a shark's throat. I think I'm gonna be sick. I knew you couldn't handle the truth. 2 feet. Because he was found in the shark. Amazing. Next. Smith. Out here on the docks. You're standing to me light, stranger. Can I sell you something that'll make you move? Probably. Let's see what you have. He sells scimitars. Specifically, bronze scimitar, iron scimitar, steel scimitar, and mithril scimitar. Plus a hammer, because he's a smith. That makes sense. No black scimitars, no offhands, because those don't exist at all. Pretty much a simple scimitar shop here. Nothing super crazy. I doubt it. Then move on, stranger. Or, Runs if you have any cutlasses. Cutlasses? Think you're a pirate now, lad? Well, yes. Well, I have some cutlasses. I have Brass Hand Harry's cutlass. Well, a load of them, to be honest. And then there's Unlucky Jenkins' Lucky Cutlass. Lovely blade, that. I've also got Gentleman Mallard's Rapier. Not a cutlass, I know, but the finest blade ever wielded by a privateer. Which one would you like to hear about? Tell me about all these. Sounds great. Sounds a bit more interesting than his scimitars, at any rate. Can get those other places. This is more fancy. Let's hear about Brass Hand Harry's cutlass. A good choice. Ye may end up meeting Brass Hand Harry if you hang around long enough. He lost his right hand to a canister round, but that didn't stop him much. Then he lost his replacement right hand fighting the excise men off the coast of Kramja. Not being the sort to lie about moping, he asked me to make him a cutlass with a brass gauntlet, fix the handle, and rig it up with a load of straps so he could keep on fighting without losing his hand again. He's a great man, that Harry, but he keeps snapping the straps while he's at sea, so he sells the cutlasses back to me in exchange for a new one. It's quite a good blade, but the big brass gauntlet is what makes it worthwhile. It's big enough to fit over even a real gauntlet, so you get extra protection to your sword hand. Sell it to you for 1,040 coins. Interested? Nah, don't really need it. Be here if you change your mind. Ask me about these other cutlasses. Get some cutlass lore. Lovely stuff. Second one. Unlucky Jenkins' Lucky Cutlass. Tis a sad tale to this sword. Jenkins was a lookout on the Jonah, cursed vessel if there ever was one. One day his ship were attacked by another group of pirates during a fierce storm. One of their bowmen took a shot at the cabin of the vessel, where it deflected off his compass, and hit Jenkins in the back. How unlucky. That weren't the worst of it, lad. He survived the fight. The ship's surgeon was trying to get the arrow out when... Are you familiar with the spell Bones to Bananas? Yes, why? Well, due to a blow to the head he took in the fight, the surgeon cast the spell, thinking it was some sort of new healing spell. And he did so while touching Jenkins' rib. And that killed him? No, lad. See, he survived. His bones turned to bananas as a huge storm blew up, and the crew debated what to do with him. But you see, the storm was actually the tail end of a hurricane that had swept the nearby jungle islands. When it approached the ship, it petered out, dropping all manner of strange things onto the deck and into the ocean. The worst part was when the ship was bombarded with ravenous, hunger-crazed monkeys, the majority of which landed on Jenkins as he lay recovering. And that killed him? No, lad. See, what happened next, after the monkeys had their way with him was... Look, I don't want to hear any more. Why would I want to buy his cutlass? Well, after the poor man passed on, in a final, terrifying, mashed potato-coated tragedy, his shipmates found his cutlass was completely untouched. See, having been exposed to all the bad luck that Jenkins went through, the thing is unlikely to ever see anything that bad again. Hence, it must be lucky. You can have it for 2,560 coins. Interested? No. Cursed. Also likely cursed. Let's hear about the last sword he has here. Gentleman Mallard's Rapier. Well, I'll tell you the story. It'll take a great deal of convincing for me to sell you this rapier. See, Gentleman Mallard is a legend in these parts. His family had been rich, shipping all sorts of goods up and down the coast. Then their rivals got together and had their ships sunk, one after the other, as business partners were all either bought off or had accidents. With no money and only one ship left, took to the life of a pirate, but no brigand was he. He took only from those men that had brought about his downfall, was fair with his men, and generous with his loot. Why, this island would have been wiped out by the sheiks if he hadn't turned over his stash to buy medicine. One day his ship was attacked by a huge sea creature that swept the decks of men with its tentacles. The crew took to the lifeboats, and the last they saw of him was the gentleman was stabbing at the thing as it hauled the ship under the water. A week later, 10-foot tentacle washed up on the beach with his rapier embedded in it to the hilt. I took it, cleaned it up, and been looking after it ever since. Can't let it go for less than 25,600 coins. Even then, that's a bargain. Think you have what it takes to wield it? Nope. Well, let's be here if you change your mind. These weapons, generally in the mithril adamant rune scimitar sword kind of angle type stance. Nothing we would really want. A bit more lore to the weapon though. It's definitely something. Let's finish off by talking to Bill Teach here. Hey Bill. Can I have that gold now? Sure you can. Here. Plus 10,000 coins. That'll do nicely with the 23,000 coins we got from Green Dragons and never mentioned. Coin pouch. It's a whole situation. Anyways. We are pirates now. Doing pirate stuff. If we destroy the Book of Piracy, we get a replacement from Bill Teach. If we try to talk to a pirate. Hello. Be wanting to go on account with our gang of filibusters. The powder monkey be taking a cock after getting rowdy on Bumbo, so there'll be plenty of room for ye. Right. Just over here if you need me. Can't understand them at all. We're not really a pirate. We got a translation manual. It works. Anyways. We'll be leaving the salty seas behind for very different pastures. Next time. Goodbye.